Hello, you guys. It's your girl, one of a kind. I hope and pray that all is well. I just want to jump on here and do a quick message. I hope and pray, as always, that each of you are doing well. Um, just been focused and diligently being obedient, trying to bring the vision that God has given me for this celebration, 20th anniversary celebration, to manifestation. Um, and so that requires a lot of commitment, diligence, consistency, and rest. So I got a lot of rest this weekend, but been having a lot of business meetings and phone calls and just, follow ups, and had a conversation. And, when you get on the phone talking to people about Jesus, it just can go longer than it needs to go. But in that conversation, God brought back up something to my remembrance. And so the title of this message is going to be The Blessings of Your Enemies. It's entitled The Blessings of Your Enemies. Two things he brought up to me in my remembrance is Peter and Judas, and David and Goliath. And real quick, because we are embarking on Easter, and y'all know how the message goes. You embarking on Easter, and then he arose. They rev it up. He arose without power in his hands. Okay, so one of the things that a couple of years ago when I was writing the book Church Hurts, he brought to my remembrance just a different perspective of a lot of times we hear he rose without power, but if he rose without power, it feels like what did he leave us? And he first conquered some things on earth, and to rise with all power. And we have that power in love, not all the power, right? Because he sits at the right hand, but there is power. The things that he left us on his road to Calvary, he left us power. And a lot of times the true definition of love, right? We know that for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, right? There are levels to these type of layers of God love, not with conditions, not if you do me right, but God's love that says when you were unworthy, yet he sent his son to die for you, right? God is love, those levels of love, right? There is power in that level of love, right? The power in prayer. We remember how he stayed in the Garden of Gethsemane and he asked God 3 times to take that cup from me, right? And the power and the beauty is that he heard from God, right? He asked 3 times if he take the cup. God let him know that was the only way, right? Obedience, right? Jesus obediently surrendered to the cross. No one took his life. He obediently surrendered. And then the power of forgiveness. God said, why do you think it was so important that before I hung my head and died, they didn't ask for apology, right? They didn't say forgive me. They didn't stop. They didn't say I'm sorry, but I forgave them. What did he say? For they know not what they do. And more importantly, he said, because they did not know who I was. Y'all, somebody you're going to have to forgive with no apology. And because they had no idea that God chose you. They had no idea who the God was that lives in you and that is for you. And when he's for you, it's more than the whole world against you. Let's talk about the blessings of your enemy, right? Right here, he showed us, right, how to treat Peter and Judas, right? He chose them first, right? So if he chose them, then he knew. He said it. Someone at this table is going to betray me, right? What do you do? What do you do when God gives you a glimpse, right? He told us in Psalm 23 that he'll prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemy. But see, he's trying to get us to grow up, right? Pass the milk and cookies, right? Woo, okay. But some of us, we discount what he did when he broke bread with Peter and Judas, when he washed their feet. And we remember how the Lord one Peter rose up and, who is it, Lord? Tell me who it is. And God said, Lord, one, sit down. Because before the rooster crows 3 times, you're gonna deny you even knew me. Okay? So there is blessings, right? He chose him and he chose him, and he needed the betrayal of what Judas did to set it off, right? To ignite what he was already called to do, right? Okay, so let's go to David and Goliath right quick. He talks about using what you got, right? We know the story of Jesse and his sons and how they had discounted David, not even knowing that God had already chose David, right? And so a lot of times we look at the story of David and Goliath, and it's like he defeated David and Goliath, but God took me a step back and he said, David didn't kill Goliath with what he had, but he used what he had to take what he needed to get from the enemy to defeat the enemy. David had a rock and a sling, but what he needed to destroy and kill Goliath, he had to get from his enemy. I'm going to just sit this right here because I don't know who this is for. Some of y'all, God is saying he can't trust you, right? To the next level, because the word says to bless those who despitefully use you and slander you. He's saying, I can't trust you because every time somebody lie on you, how many CEOs been lied on and been slandered? He said, you can't even handle confrontation. You can't even handle if someone disagrees with you. You can't even handle if someone doesn't like you. You can't even handle if people are talking about the truth that they know about you. So how can he trust you with more, right? When every time he exposes your enemy, first thing you do, block them, write them off, can't forgive them, slander them, be angry with them, don't want to be in the same room with them, think you control something, not knowing the enemy really controlling you, because there are some Goliaths in your life, right? And you're going to need to confront and take those Goliaths out, but it's going to be something you need from that very enemy that you wrote off, from that very enemy you're trying to avoid, for that very enemy you're trying to take vengeance. You hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you. You talked about me, so I'm going to talk about you. Y'all need to grow up. I don't know who this is for, but God told me to tell you, some of you are always going to be mediocre. Some of you not going to go to the next level, and you mad because God is using somebody to go. Somebody is loving their enemies. Somebody is praying for the enemies. Somebody is taking what they got, knocking out their enemy, and they're able, just like on Super Mario Brothers, to go to the next level because now they knocked their enemy out and took their enemy's sword, defeated their enemy, and they're on to the next level. Y'all, there are blessings that you can get from your enemy. It's your girl, one of a kind. Have a blessed day, y'all.